Hello everybody and welcome back to another Would You Rather. Okay, if you could bring back the 90s, would you rather bring back 90s style of music, etc., or stick with the current So basically you asked me, would I bring back the 90s or not? Now, I actually grew up in the 90s. That's when I was born. It was the beginning of the 90s. So the 90s style of music for me, I'm thinking like Creed and stuff. You guys ever heard of Creed? It was a really good band. Because that was a, well, you know what? I'm going to stick with the current trends because I was a kid in the 90s and I don't really remember much of it. So, and I like the current times, so, 50-50. I suppose it depends on how old you were when the 90s. Like I said, I was a kid. I was born at the beginning of the 90s. So, I mean, I literally was in my elementary years in the 90s. So, I mean, I really didn't know the 90s that well. Because I was in school, I was playing video games. Anyway, would you rather travel the world confined to a wheelchair? That's gotta suck. Or spend your whole life in the same 200-mile radius? I feel bad for anybody that's in a wheelchair because that is like the worst type of life. I mean, I'm glad to see that there are things like the handicap races or something like that. That there are people out there or trying to do something with their disability, and that I'm glad to see that. But the wheelchair, that's horrible when you're confined to that for the rest of your life. You got to go up and down ramps, and it's just sad. It really is. It's just really sad. I couldn't. I'd rather spend 2 miles in the spend my whole life in the same 200-mile radius, which I have not already done. I have actually traveled I think I've traveled to like 8 different states, maybe 10 different states of the United States. So I've actually did do a little bit of traveling, but how long is it? How far? Oh, probably the length of one state. The state's probably even bigger than that. Yeah, it's definitely much bigger than that, but anyway, moving on. My timer better not have shut off on me. I'm going to be... Ah, crap. I didn't start my timer. I have it on my phone, so my phone goes into sleep mode. I can't tell what's going on. But anyway, would you rather date Topanga from Boy Meets World or date Pam from The Office? Well, I've heard of The Office, I've never heard of Boy Meets World, and I don't know who exactly Pam is from The Office, but I have heard of it, and I've seen, what do you call those, commercials on it, but screw it. Why not? Wow. A lot of people agree. I have no idea who either one of those are, so I'll let you guys make the decision on that one. I just clicked one that because I have to hurry up here about The Office. I don't know anymore. Would you rather eat Lay's potato chips or eat Pringles? Now that is a hard one because I like both. Well, what kind of Lay's potato chips? Are we talking the ridges on, kind of like Ruffles type of Lay's potato chips? Or they have like the ridges on them? Or are we talking like the flat normal ones? Are we talking a certain flavor? Are we talking like I can choose any kind of Lay's potato chips I want? I'm assuming I can choose anything I want from between those two categories, but I was gonna... crap. I suppose it's not saying that it's just asking me which one do I prefer over the other. It's not saying that I have to permanently eat one or the other. So if I had to choose, if I saw those in a store, I usually look for sales first. I'm one of those guys that just does that. Because, if I can get cheaper. But I would have to say Lay's, because they have large family-sized bags of potato chips. And Pringles would be running out. Wow. I mean, I can't blame you, Pringles are good, but I'm just going for quantity size on that one. Would you rather have a large painting of yourself or a life-size sculpture of yourself? I don't care for either one. If I don't know where I would even go with a sculpture. And I have no use for a large painting of myself. That just makes me sound like a pretentious douche having either one of them. Then I think of myself so high and mighty that I have to have either one of these is just... no. Just not acceptable. I mean, certain people that have done really amazing things through history, like the presidents and stuff, that's understandable to make a portrait of them. But I don't, there's no need for me to have one. No need whatsoever. But if I had to, I'd go with a painting, because I could actually fit a painting somewhere in this house, as to where I would not be able to fit a sculpture. So, that's that, I guess. Would you rather never be able to feel emotions, or never be able to express emotions? I'm going to go with never be able to express emotions, because I like to actually feel emotions. For me, emotions are amazing. If I'm watching a good show and it makes me cry, that feels good. If I'm getting angry at a game, it feels good to get that frustration out. It feels good to feel emotion, and you should always want to feel emotion, because it just feels good to let that emotion out. If I was never able to feel emotions, I would drive myself crazy. I'd be a freaking robot. If I'm never able to express emotions, it means I can still feel them, but my face would just be, that's sad. Yeah, that makes me angry. Pretty much all I'd be doing, which wouldn't really bother me because I still feel them. It's just I wouldn't be able to express or show my emotions, which is fine with me. And more people agree with me. And I've actually seen them, like, well, moving on. Would you rather be in a room filled with people dying, what the actual heck, or be the only person in a big empty room? The only person in a big empty room because I could not watch people die. Wow. You people are weird. Why would anyone want to be in a room filled with people dying? You would have to sit there and watch them, and I'm betting you're not going to have any way to stop them from dying. Do you realize how hard that would be? Feel completely and utterly useless? But anyway, would you rather fight Apollo Creed or fight Ivan Drago? I have no idea who either one of these are. I will let you guys choose on that one. For me, I'm just going to click one. And I happen to click the incorrect one. Oh well. Would you rather have it always be day or have it always be night? Good question. I prefer daytime because it's nice, bright, sunny, and beautiful outside. Nighttime's just dark and you can't see anything. So, I prefer daytime, but that's just me. Who would ever want it to be night all the time? That would drive people crazy. Electricity would sure go through the roof all the time. It's a lot cheaper during the day. You can use only one of the two. If you can only use one of the two, would you rather Reddit or YouTube? Come on, guys. This is a simple one. YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. Who wouldn't want to? I can't. If I don't use YouTube, we have problems here. I don't like no problems. Would you rather be a male police officer with a high-pitched voice, or be a male police officer with the appearance of an 8-year-old boy? Wait, what? So, if I was a police officer, would I want to have a high-pitched voice or the appearance of an 8-year-old boy? I'll go with the high-pitched voice. Hey, people agree with me. The reason for that is, if I'm looking like an 8-year-old kid, people are always going to be questioning me and asking me, "What are you doing here?" It's not. I would not be able to do my job looking like an 8-year-old kid. I'll tell you that much. Secondly, you're not going to get a girlfriend looking like an 8-year-old kid. It's just going to look weird. So, moving on. Would you rather face Godzilla or face King Kong? If I'm facing either one of these, I'm a dead man. I am so very dead that I will no longer exist dead because I'll probably be flatter than a pancake, guts on the floor dead. But if I had to choose... I'm gonna go with Godzilla. Because I know I can hide from... Wow, people are going for King Kong. Well, I suppose Godzilla just walks through buildings and just says, fuck shit. Well, I suppose as King Kong can't really walk through buildings, it probably seems safer. But for me, no matter which one you face, you're gonna end up dying from them. Godzilla is probably just a one stomp, you're dead type deal. King Kong is gonna beat the living shit out of you and give you the slow, painful death. So, would you rather always wear a top hat or always wear a giant clock necklace? Well, the necklace I could actually hide. The top hat I could not. Alright, well. Top hats are top hats. I'm not gonna complain. Would you rather watch Seinfeld or watch The Simpsons? Well then, this is an interesting one. Sorry, my computer had a random notification, but this is an interesting one. That is an interesting one, but I don't think I watched The Simpsons. The Simpsons seems funnier to me, but that's just me. Don't! Alright, I can't do a good Homer Simpson. Would you rather fight 100 third graders at one time, or fight 50 third graders at the same time? What? Oh, what? 100 third graders one at a time, or 50 third graders at the same time? Well, not legitly fought, but I've been surrounded by that 50 third graders at one time, at the same time already. I used to, my first job was at a daycare after school. I would go to an elementary school and watch the elementary school kids, which ranged from like K5 to 5th grade now at the time. Because they moved 6th grade to middle school, which, whatever. But, so I was always surrounded by 300 kids, not just 3rd graders. And when they didn't want to listen, they didn't want to listen. Believe me, I never fought them or anything, but I was surrounded by them and they never listened to me, and it was always a hard time getting them to do what you want. I couldn't even imagine fighting that. That was just no. Fight 100 third graders one at a time. That seems much easier to me, knowing that I've actually had to babysit 3rd graders. And believe you me, 50 at one time is not no. I will state this though, I never fought them. Alright? They didn't want to listen, and I had to raise my voice maybe, but I've never physically fought a kid. I will state this now. Anyway, would you rather have ice breath or have fire breath? And don't get me wrong, I loved that job. It was an amazing job. Anyway, would you rather have ice breath or fire breath? Well, ice breath, I get to freeze the living shit out of everything, and fire breath, I burn everything in sight. I'm going to go with fire breath because it seems more badass to me. I mean, not that ice breath's not cool, but who wouldn't want to have fire breath like a dragon, man? I suppose if we're talking in Skyrim, they have ice breath too. But the ice breath, I mean, it's just really cold air. That's it. Fire actually looks cool. I'm going to go to the cool route there. If Jabba the Hutt sentenced you to death, would you rather be fed to a Rancor or be fed to a Sarlacc? Now, for those of you who don't know what those are, the Rancor is the beast that Luke killed using the gate. And the Sarlacc is the giant thing which they journeyed all the way out into the middle of the sand dunes, which, Boba the Fett, fell into and was eaten. It's the things with the tentacles, they were in the sand, it was kind of like a giant pit, and they had those giant floating things, the ships and everything they were in. Anyway. The Sarlacc, as I said in the movie, you would suffer in there for the rest of your life, slowly digesting a slow, painful death. The Rancor will eat you and kill you instantaneously, so that they have the least, most painful death is what I would go for. Damn! People want to die slow and painful. I mean, it's your preference, but jeez. Would you rather live in a world where everything is written in Comic Sans? Well then, or would you live in a world where the only music that existed was Call Me Maybe? I actually don't mind that song, but then again, if I heard it on repeat non-stop, it would drive me crazy. Like, for example, there's one song that I can absolutely not stand, by Justin Bieber, and it was Baby Baby. And it's simply because when I was at that elementary school, they had a radio there, and they had a CD of Justin Bieber's music, and there was like 10 songs on there, but every time they just played the Baby Baby, and they would repeat it for 2 hours straight, the same song, over and over again. Me and my coworkers had to shut the dang thing off because take it away because you were so irritated at that song. So I know how irritating it is to be at a song, so I will go with the Comic Sans simply because I know how irritating it is to be at a song's mercy. It's not fun. Oh, that is so not fun. Alright, one more. Or maybe 2 more. We'll see. Would you rather have the first name and quote Cletus and quote what? Would you rather have the first name and quote Cletus and quote or have the first name quote Rusty and quote? Sure. You guys can judge that one for whatever. I don't know. Whoosh. I don't know. Anyway, would you rather speak everything in surround sound? God, I could just picture everything is just like heard amplified everywhere. Or have your own entrance theme when you walk into a room? That would actually be kind of cool. Your own entrance theme. I'm gonna go with that. It would piss everybody off after a while, but it would still be epic. Just walking, like, I'm not gonna start singing. Would you rather wear only skin-tight clothing, or wear clothes that are much too big? Well, I actually have Under Armour on, so during the winter I'm nice and warm, and that's kind of close to skin-tight, because it keeps me nice and warm. And I mean, it's pretty comfortable, but I mean, skin-tight. I mean, I think they're talking like legitimately skin-tight, which would be kind of painful. Well, depending on what areas are tighter than others. And clothes that are much too big, I've actually tried to wear clothes that are much too big. Because I'm 5'8", my dad's like 6'4", and my brother's like 6'2". So when they don't have clothes that don't fit them anymore, they give them to me, and sometimes they're a little bit big at first, and they're like drowned on me like they're a little big at first, but there are a few times where I've gotten like a jacket or a shirt and it's drowned it on me. And of course I didn't keep it because it drowned it on me, but I'd rather wear skin-tight clothing because at least I know it's not falling off my ass. Alright, so that is all for this episode of Would You Rather. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the other videos that I have done. And I will see you later. Goodbye.